Fighting Talk back again, and today I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Mick Parkin ahead of his fight against Mark Brown on Probellum 2. Mick, it's your second pro fight. How are you looking forward to this one?
Cannot wait. Obviously, with the lockdown and that, I had like 2 or 3 fights fall through, so that wasn't great. Then I've just managed to get some good training, so it wasn't to be fighting really.
You mentioned about that good training. Of course, you've been down Team Cabon training with the likes of Tom ASPINALL, Mark Grundy, Darren Till. What was that like as an experience for yourself? I mean, you're 1-0 now as a pro, but training with Paul Craig when he comes to TFT, training with that elite level fighter, how much does that help you develop?
Oh, it's been mint. Just even like training with them, like just like an experience. Like first you got in there, and it's like remember first spar with Paul, and you're like, no, I remember watching him on the telly and that. So the first thing is like nervous, but then when you get sparring with them, it's like mint, all good lads and like class to train with, really good.
How much does that help for the terms like with yourself where you're relatively young in your sort of pro career? How much does that help with the development training with the likes of them sort of fighters?
I think it's mint, like sparring with Tom. I did a few sessions with Tom. I think I was down Cowbone for like 3 weeks, and like just the way he moves for everywhere was mint. So like just to watch him, I was like freaking out. Like he's like one of a kind, really. He's like so light on his feet, so that was good to like try and bring back, because I felt I was a bit slow with him, so I've been trying to like be lighter on my feet. And then with Paul, obviously, his jits is mint on his back, so like you never really get that with especially bigger lads, like going at the back. So obviously it's like good to like all areas, like different people, so it's been mint, really good.
If we look at this Probellum card as well, it's great to see the UK MMA scene back up and running. How important was it for you to get on like the soonest card possible, to get back in that cage and get back fighting again?
It was mint. Like I'd trained with John, who runs Probellum, down there, and obviously did a few sessions, and he was like, "Oh, would you be interested in fighting?" And I was like, "Oh, 100%." Like definitely, I know it's like a mint show, and it'd just be good to like start getting back to normal, hopefully, because it's been crazy, isn't it? Crazy.
You mentioned John there as well. I mean, there's fighters from all over the country go down to Four Corner Combat to train. For you, why is John so special?
Well, first off, he's a mint bloke, honestly. One of a kind. He's absolute class. Like, let us train in his gym, live there 3 weeks, never asked for a penny or anything off us. And like, he has a mint kickboxing class. His drills are like, like intense. Like, honestly, I think the first one I did, it was like an hour of drilling, but it was like non-stop. And then like at the end, he'd be like, "Reed, so 500 crunches, lad." And I was like, "Hey," he thought he was joking. Then it was like, "No, not just 500 crunches." So I was like, ugh. Like, I think people were mopping up, and I was still there doing it. But no, he does mint kickboxing. He's amazing on the pads. When you're on the pads, like, he makes you feel like sharp as out when you hit them. He's got some lovely techniques. Really good.
So, Mick, with this fight as well, I mean, for people who don't know you or haven't seen you fight before, what sort of fight can they expect of you?
Stand up, I think I'm quite technical for heavyweight, so I'm going to try and practice there. Well, show people like my stand up's good. I'm ready for everywhere, really. I've been like wrestling here with the likes of like Phil and that for ages now, so I feel confident like all over. And it's probably the fittest I've been like going into a fight.
You mentioned that, of course, training at TFT now with the likes of Phil DeFries. Why did you decide to make the move to this gym, and ultimately, how has it helped you progress as a fighter?
Well, it's a long story going to the camera, but obviously I got here, like, everyone's really welcoming. Like, at first it's like nervous going to like a new gym and that, so got that everyone was welcoming. And now I just train with Phil. He's like, the experience has got amazing. Like, so when I remember the first session I did with him, like my mate took us down. Like, I remember like being like free, and I've never been like smashed like this. But I've been doing more and more rounds with him, and even like defending one of his takedowns, like, because you're like freaking out. Like, how, but like from the first week being able to do out with him, to being able to like even defend 1 or 2 of his takedowns has been mint. So
if we look back at this fight as well, I know we spoke off camera. There's not a lot out there on Brown, so what sort of fight you expecting, or is it one of them where you're just going to have to adapt and see what fight you bring?
Well, to be honest, everybody I think I've watched on YouTube, they've come in there completely different. I think I've come in there like expecting people to stand up and try to take us down, and I've seen people wrestle, just try up with us. So just literally like getting there. I think when I watched his fight, he was a southpaw again, but probably coming out that orthodox. So I'm just ready for anything, you know what I mean? I got like loads of sparring, like there's loads of big lads there who are like mint. So I'm ready. Like, I've got southpaws, I've got Tony, Marston, I've got like small heavyweights like Ball, who's like minting close, and then you've got Phil, who's like an amazing wrestler. So I feel like I'm like against the floor, on the feet, I'm ready for it.
You're a highly decorated amateur as well in the MMA scene. Was it important for you to build that amateur record and build that amateur resume before you were turning pro, so you could sort of watch your own development, if you like, through this sort of stage?
I feel like some heavyweights go pro quite quick, because obviously like a lot of them are a bit like older and that, they go pro. But I was never in a rush. I was only young. I had a few, and I feel like that's why you make your mistakes and that, and like you need the experience. Like, it's pointless just jump. I had a few kickboxing fights that felt like it helped us loads. Obviously standing up and that, getting that quality. So I had a few kickboxing, I did a few MMA, and then I think I need to do more grappling competitions as well, like even get more experience on the ground and that.
So that's something, I guess, with TFT, with the likes of Phil DeFries, KSW world champion, who's known for his wrestling, known for his grappling. I'm presuming that's going to help leaps and bounds with your training with him.
I mean, because he's not just like a typical heavyweight. We're usually strong on the floor. He's really, really like technical. He's got some mint techniques. So he shows a few things that work like mint. So I've learnt a few things off him, and I like his pressure. And that's like unreal. So like gets you fit really.
So Mick, going into this fight, what version of Mick Parkin are we going to see?
I think I'm at the minute the best I've felt. So I feel like light on my feet. I feel strong wrestling. So I think, and you ready for anywhere? Yeah.
Ian, finally, can I get a prediction off you on how you see this one going?
I always think a stoppage. So first round, second round stoppage. I think.
Spot on, Mick. Thank you very much, mate.